Matt. Joining me now to talk about today's trade is Teddy Weisberg. He's been on the floor here for more than 40 years of Seaport Securities. Teddy, holding on to gains here, kind of been all over the place today. What's your take on what's going on?
Well, I mean, obviously really quiet, but the bias has certainly been to the upside, not with a lot of zip. It's, we have one more day to go to the end of the quarter. Perhaps we're levitating a little bit here as we get through tomorrow. And then Friday, of course, the employment number, but Friday we're not open, so I'm not sure what impact that's going to have with a three-day weekend behind the number, no matter what it is.
Hey, Teddy, is anybody talking still about waiting for a big correction? That had been really in vogue, that idea, in January and February, and we got kind of a mini correction, but now it seems like we continue to march up even slowly but steadily higher.
Well, I'm not sure that we got a mini correction. I mean, we had an 8 or 9% correction in January, which was pretty healthy, and as a reversal for an upward move in the market. So I think technically that was well within the bounds that what's acceptable. And in February and now March, we've continued that upward bias that we saw all of last year. Yes, there are a lot of negative folks out there and a lot of people looking for correction, but the tape really doesn't lie. I've been here a long time, and the tape says they're going higher no matter what the reason.
I want to ask you, Teddy, you're talking about the end of the quarter, S&P 500 poised to close out the quarter up more than 5% here. Do you think that the gains can continue, and if so, why? What's going to be the catalyst?
Well, I'm not sure. Hopefully the catalyst will be improving economic picture, because the market is a forward-looking indicator, not a trailing indicator. And yes, they're probably a little stretched up on the upside, but the problem is that the sell-offs really have no teeth. So when they sell off, the selling dries up. There's no volume on the upside, but the momentum is clearly on the plus side. And I suspect it will continue indefinitely until something really derails the market, and always something out there that could do that. But for the moment, it looks like we're going higher.
Teddy, it would be silly of me not to ask you why a giant polar bear is walking around behind you.
Yeah, well, exactly. Has something to do with Coca-Cola, I think.
We actually have the CEO of Coca-Cola ringing the closing bell, and that's why the polar bear is here.
You can't show a giant polar bear walking around the New York Stock Exchange and not tell people why. I had to get it there. Teddy, thank you so much for joining us. Laura Lee.